Monsoons in the Western Ghats are just around the corner, and if you are a trekker like me, I know you're waiting for those showers to come and go out and experience the Western Ghats treks for yourselves. And hands down, monsoons are the best time to experience them. Just think of the drives to this starting point of this treks through these small hamlets. It's raining, it's misty, you're driving through the forest, and then you start trekking. The streams are at their full, the forests are dense, and then the Shola grasslands. No better time to experience Western Ghats treks than these monsoons. So here I am talking to you about 6 lesser known treks that you can experience this upcoming monsoon in the Western Ghats. Let's get started. I know when I talk of Western Ghats in the monsoon, the names that come to your mind, the Kumara Parvatha trek, the Kudremukh trek, Netravati, Gangadikal, Bandaje Falls, and beautiful treks, amazing treks to do on their own right. But what you probably don't think of are the treks that exist outside this popular list. And let me tell you, these are stunning treks, beautiful treks to do on their own rights, but trekkers just don't know that they exist. Or even if they've heard of them, they feel that how do I go about planning that for myself? So that is what we have tried to do last season, actually go out and document all these lesser known treks that you could do in monsoon. And we have gone to great lengths to put out all the last mile information you need, like how do you reach the base, who can you talk to, how to start the trek, how to get your permits, and even offline GPX files which you can just download and navigate these treks on your own. So that is why in this video I'm going to talk to you about these 6 lesser known treks which probably you did not know exist, but by the end of this video I'm sure you'll want to go and experience them on your own. Let's get started. So the first trek on my list is the Valikunja trek. This is a trek that is actually in the Kudremukh range. Most trekkers usually go to the treks like Kudremukh or Netravati, Gangadikal in that range. But it's in the same range, but very few trekkers still know about it. It starts from this village of Sringeri. Sringeri is the main town from where you get all your logistics and get started on the trek. Fantastic trek because right at the start of the trek you are entering the dense Shola forest, and when I say dense on Valikunja, forests get really close up front to you. These are these small narrow sections where you actually go through this forest. There are streams you cross, and then suddenly you hit a ridge and an opening. You turn a right, and then you are walking along the ridge all the way. On your left is the town of Udupi, the district of Udupi. On your right is the entire Sringeri township. You are walking on that ridge. Then there's a 600 meters of steep climb to the summit. So dense forest, Shola grasslands, walking on a ridge, a thrilling summit push. One of all the things that we want to experience of the Kudremukh region, minus the crowds, the Valikunja trek. The second trek on my list is the Merthi Gudda trek. Now, not many of you may have heard of this trek, but this is actually the 7th highest peak in Karnataka. It starts out of this temple town of Ornadu, and then you drive to the base village, start trekking through coffee plantations on the onset, and then it suddenly opens up, and that's where the magic begins, because the larger part of the trek is entirely a ridge walk, and it's not like a straight ridge like what you walked on the Valikunja trek, but it's a roller coaster ridge walk where there are multiple tops. Like you arrive at one top, you feel you have hit the peak, but no, you will see there's another top in front of you. You do this twice, thrice, getting down, coming up, and finally you hit the top of Merthi Gudda, and you see the entire Western Ghats ranges all around you, starting from the farther away Kudremukh ranges to the Baba Budangiri hills to the Anegutta ridge. All of that with beautiful mosaic of Shola grasslands, forests from the top, the 7th highest peak of Karnataka, and fairly easy trek for your legs, the Merthi Gudda trek. Now we're talking about monsoon treks, but there's a flip side to trekking in monsoon which we don't talk about enough, and that's about getting forest department permits. Given that both Valikunja and Merthi Gudda come under the Aranya Vihara permit system, it can well happen that if the rains are heavy and the forest department want to exercise precaution, your permits get cancelled in the last minute, or you are not able to procure permits in the last place, and your trekking plans get derailed. So in case that happens, my next treks on the list are a work around that. These are treks that you can do without requiring to go through a permit process. The first trek I want to talk to you about is the Anegutta Ridge trek. So Anegutta Ridge trek is actually right beside Merthi Gudda. It's in the same region. You start similarly from the temple town of Ornadu, same base village, just that you start climbing a different hill. And I would say that Anegutta Ridge trek is even more beautiful and raw as compared to Merthi Gudda, because here you're actually trekking through Shola forest and not coffee plantations. There's beautiful Shola forests, streams, and it's a steep climb through the Shola forest until you hit a ridge, and then it all opens up. Beautiful green long ridge on which you can walk for almost 5-10 minutes and the ridge will not end. And from there you'll actually see the Merthi Gudda peak and all the other views that we had mentioned from Merthi Gudda. That's all out there for you to experience on Merthi Gudda ridge, minus the uncertainty of permits. Trek you should definitely check out. So next trek on my list, it's not actually a trek, I'll be talking about a region here, and that's the Periyar Tiger Reserve. I know a lot of few won't know that you can actually trek in Periyar Tiger Reserve, but you can. These are the southern parts of Western Ghats, which are higher, more lush, dense forests. And the best part is that these treks run 365 days. So when we went and documented these treks with Forest Department, they said that Periyar does not suspend permits unless there are active landslides or there's a red alert, which make it actually risky for anyone to go on the trail. Other than that, these treks never close. So even if there are heavy rains, you can depend on the Periyar treks to go and experience monsoon in the Western Ghats. And there are actually two treks to do here. One is the Thondiar forest trek and one is the Brandipara border trek. Both of them take you to the depths of the Periyar Tiger Reserve. The Thondiar forest trek shows you more of the forest, takes you to the famous Periyar Lake. You trek along its edges and it's a beautiful trek for birding and sightings of wildlife. On the other hand, the Brandipara border trek packs a lot of variety. You start through forest, then quickly open into riverside grasslands, then forests again, and then you actually climb a ridge where you're walking on the border of Kerala and Tamil Nadu. Left side of you is Kerala and right side of you is the Megamalai Wildlife Sanctuary of Tamil Nadu. You're walking on this ridge for hours, getting down back into the forest, and both of these are long day treks, almost 17-18 kilometers both sides, but one of the most beautiful treks you can do to experience the best of what Western Ghats has to offer, and 90% of the time you wouldn't have to worry about permits. Now that we have spoken about all these treks, and some of them are long, some of them are shorter, but all of them are fairly easy on your legs, I want to include this one trek which is for the adventure seekers in us. Now I know that a lot of trekkers going up to Kumara Parvatha in peak monsoon, and you know how that goes. Sometimes you reach the top, sometimes you don't, but you don't really care about that, right? What you going there for is that adventure to push yourself. And here is one trek I want to look at from that angle, and that's the Brahmagiri peak trek. The Brahmagiri peak trek lies right at the border of Karnataka and Kerala. From Aranavira permits, you can do it from the Karnataka side, that is from Coorg. It's a long trek. It's 22 kilometers both sides. So you right at that onset, you know what's waiting for you. And you start the trek through dense forests, Shola grasslands, and when you reach the base of the peak is when you realize what you have signed up for, because it's a steep climb, as steep as it gets. You would double guess yourself, is this really the peak I'm going to climb? But that is Brahmagiri standing right in front of you. It will test you. I don't even know that when you go in monsoons, it might be so slushy, you don't even reach the top, but that adventure will be something you will remember for a lifetime. Now we have spoken about a lot of beautiful treks in the Western Ghats, some long, some short, some adventurous ones, but for my last trek recommendation, I'll move away a little bit from the Western Ghats eastwards, more inland, right at the border of Karnataka and Telangana, and I'm talking about the Chincholi forest trek. Chincholi forest trek is a very unique trek in its own right, because you would feel like you are trekking in a central Indian forest, and the trek sets off right from the Chandrampalli reservoir. So the moment you start trekking is when you see this huge backwaters of the Chandrampalli dam, and then you enter the varied forest of teaks, axlewood, Indian blackwood, and then you actually see the Gottamgotta river flowing right next to you. You hop across these rivers, enter new forest patches. In some places the flow is high, you form human chains. In some places when the flow is too high, you'll have to take a call of not being able to cross the river altogether. Now this trek lies fairly close from both Bangalore and Hyderabad, and you won't believe that such a raw jungle trek experience is waiting for you so close to the cities. So even though this is not officially in the Western Ghats, I had to keep it on my list, Chincholi forest trek. With this, I come to the end of my list, and I hope that you use this video to actually go out and experience these treks for yourselves. That's the only reason we have documented them in great details on our website. You'll find them publicly available. It has all the information you'll ever need to plan this trek on your own. But given that we're talking about monsoon treks, I know that you'll go prepared with rain gear, you'll go prepared with the mindset that leeches are going to go around. But if you are mentally and physically prepared, monsoons in the Western Ghats are going to be an unforgettable experience for you. That's all from me today. This is Upayan from Indiahikes.